and we're not quite ready yet to start our noon training session from the ResqRanch. I just wanted to go ahead and get started so that we could be consistent. We're going to be here most Sundays at noon Mountain Time or close to that to help you learn how we do positive reinforcement horse training here at the ResqRanch. If you don't know what the ResqRanch is, we are the nation's premier positive reinforcement animal sanctuary. So our entire facility is set up and designed to facilitate positive reinforcement type training with protected contact areas. And I hear banging, I hear knocking. No, that's not Mr. Rogers next door. That's Cesar who's banging. And so true positive reinforcement style, we don't want to encourage that. So we need to immediately, as trainers, I have other trainers that are here everybody's just arriving and we're just getting our treats and everything all set up so that we can start our training sessions here today. And the first thing we have to do before we can go any further is deal with that problem behavior that we have that's out there right now, which is him banging around. So let's see what our options are as immediately stopping that. Because again, if there's anything that's happening and you don't want it to happen, you just can't let it happen. So banging and kicking fences and stall doors is a very common problem around horses. And so the main thing to do is just don't let them practice that. So I need to stop talking right now, even though it's quiet. So that's good. He stopped banging for the moment, but I'm sure he'll probably start again any moment now. So what we'll have to do is use hula hoops or targets or anything like that to distract him and try to get his attention. He just gets really excited about training time. So he's like, come on, let me in, which is a great thing about positive reinforcement. But at the same time, we don't want him to be so excited that he's kicking the facility down. So we don't want that. We also haven't exercised yet, which we need to do better about doing. So we're going to balance kind of finishing getting set up, which means getting some treats and grain bags on us and things like that, along with getting all of our brushes and equipment out and making sure that in the meantime, while we're doing all that, we don't have horses that are trying to kick the barn down while we're getting ready to train with them. So I'm going to move the camera over and let's see what Cesar is doing. And I think, wasn't he right over there?
He was right over there, yeah.
Okay, good. So
he walked away.
Okay, good. So he walked away. All right, well, he walked away because he's inside. There he is. Yes. Mr. Cesar Danger himself. And there he is making silly faces at us because he's super excited about this training session. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So just like with you guys out there, probably one of the things that you guys do is you start with grooming them, right? And so that's what we're doing right now is we're just getting our brushes ready. You want to have your curry comb, your dandy brush, your soft brush, your hoof pick, fly spray if you need it, or anything else like that for hoof polish, whatever kind of tools that you use for grooming your horse. And then the other thing is I want you to recognize that this mouth behavior that he's doing, even though I know it looks really silly and funny, notice I'm really not laughing at him or paying a lot of attention to that because it's actually kind of a stress response. And so we don't really want him practicing that unless we are asking him to practice that. And so I love how we have one of our, and see now he's practicing banging around buckets and trash cans and things like that. So again, if you have a naughty pants horse at home, this might be the kind of behavior that your horse might do. And so you just want, if there's any, again, I'll say it one more time. If there's anything that's happening that you don't want to happen, you just don't let it happen. And so having some barriers here so that he can't mug us is one way that we're controlling his behavior. Moving things out of his way so that he can't continue to bang them, that's another thing that we can do. I would say the main thing is Miss Patty, as you're going over there, I would not have any food on you. Yeah, I don't think that it's safe for her to have food because he's being a little bit too forward. We love his enthusiasm. Okay, we'll take that enthusiasm any day of the week. And I think that's a wonderful thing. But also at the same time, he needs to learn to settle and be calm. Remember, you are entitled to be safe in your safety circle, and he's also entitled to be safe in his safety circle, which is why we don't work with these animals with a halter or lead rope or have them tied up, because that way they have a choice to be here or not. So notice he's not actually, there's no there's nothing here that's keeping him in this space. He can, come on right down that hallway. You guys go ahead and talk to each other. I think you go groom him. Yeah, I think he's fine. I think he's fine. I'm going to move so you guys can see what's happening. Okay. So I love how we were able to immediately redirect him to something else by doing the targeting training with him. He got real excited about that and he thought that was super fun and he's still super interested in that. And so again, positive reinforcement style, we're often going to be working on two things at once. And so right now we have some training happening, but he's also getting groomed, which he needs to do. Okay, now trick question, everybody, trivia question. Where is his nose compared to the level of the line, right? So any of you guys who know about my horse training masterclass, you know what that means. And we want to always be encouraging this horse and having him keep his head down low. Why? Why does that matter so much if we keep their head down low? Because physiologically, it's almost impossible for horses to be anxious and nervous and have their head down low. Okay, so horses basically have two modes, really only two modes, right? One mode is head is down and relaxed, and I trust the people and the environment that's around me to where I'm relaxed enough that I can eat. Okay, so pretty simple, right? And then the other side of the spectrum is head really high and looking around, looking for danger, and not eating because I'm super afraid that I'm about to be attacked by a mountain lion at any minute, right? And that's kind of like our horses when they get off the trailer at the horse show, right? They're like looking around. And so we want to always be working with our horses either directly in the middle of those two or below, more on this side, more on this more relaxed end of the spectrum. That's how we stay safe. That's how we know it's time for us to move forward in our training and how it's safe to go ahead and get the saddle on, get the bridle on, whatever else that you might need to get done with them. Even put the halter and lead rope on if it's a baby and you're just starting. This is the best way to start, right? You want to start here. Notice how she's encouraging him with him licking and sort of playing with the palm of her hand to keep his head down below the line. So, and he's getting groomed and looking good. And as if he wasn't feeling like he was getting enough attention, I'll have you notice we have an entire entourage out there that's all waiting for their turn. Aren't they silly? Okay, so I'm going to just move this so that you can keep an eye on those guys in the back. There's story on this side too. Again, with positive reinforcement, guys, you don't catch your horses, they catch you, right? So we don't ever have trouble with them running away from us or being hard to catch. I'm going to come back here and we're going to see what Cesar is doing and with his audience in the background for just a minute while we decide what we're going to work on next. So the most important thing I want you to notice right now is that he has calmed down and he is eating, right? When he first came in here, he was reaching across and making weird mouth movements and things like that. And oh, and did you also hear that? He just went, okay. And so what does that mean? That means Miss Patty wins the Gold Star Award training star for the day because she got her, she's the first one to get her horse to go, right? So that's what we're always looking for is we want the horse to demonstrate that they're nice and relaxed. And that's how you know if they're nice and relaxed is when they make that noise. But when he first came in here, he came right in very strongly. He was reaching across. He was making real aggressive mouth movements. And then we redirected that energy by doing some target work with him, which worked really well. And now look at him more relaxed. Okay, so that is what you're looking for. Good boy. That's what you're looking for. So again, this is how we know it's okay to move forward with the next step with this horse because he's nice and relaxed. So as trainers, we have a choice to make at this time, which is what exactly are we going to do with this horse after we've finished with his grooming, right? So there's a lot of, it might be you on a Sunday afternoon and you're going out to spend the day with your horse and you are not sure what you want to do. Maybe you want to go for a trail ride, maybe you want to lunge him. You know, as horse people, a lot of times we have to make that decision after we get to the barn. Sometimes we have the idea that we're going to go ahead and we're going to get it and we're going to ride with our friends and we're going to go down to the store or something like that, or down around the block or to the local park or whatever it may be. But then you get there to the barn and your horse is having a bad day, right? You can't get him to calm down like this. They're still pacing around. They're still showing anxiety. But it's a bummer because you already made plans with your friends that you're going to go out and ride down around the block. So what do? So quite frankly, what you do is you don't get on the horse and go ride around the block if they're not relaxed like this. You have to change the frame and do something else. So just like, good boy, he's a good boy. So just like how in the beginning, we wanted him to, we used targeting and groundwork, our positive reinforcement kind of groundwork, to help him to calm down, and it worked. And so now we're going back to grooming again, which is what we originally wanted to do. So keep in mind, you always want to meet your horse wherever they are in the process. So if your horse is just not feeling getting groomed, you got to back off until they are relaxed and ready to feel groomed. You never know what might have happened to them last night. Might have been windy, might have been scary at the barn. Who knows what happened? So no matter what, horses don't lie. So if they're showing you some anxiety, take the time it takes to help them relax like this, so that they want to work with you and so that you know you're safe and don't just try to push them through it. And I'm just going to move this over here so you can kind of continue to see the audience. Hello, kids. We see you over there, Chili. Okay. Okay, I'm still getting lots of out of him. So that is great. So that means we are free to go on to work to the next thing. So with him, we didn't really have a plan in mind for today. It was just going to be taking it as it comes and see what he is willing to offer us. And right now he's offering quite a lot, right? So he's tolerating us in this free choice manner where he has the choice where he can come or go. I do think we should pick his feet before we do that. We haven't picked his feet yet, right? Yeah, let's pick his feet. So we want to do all the parts of the grooming before we start bringing him up to anything more advanced, right? So we want to make sure that this horse is comfortable submitting all parts of his body to us before we even think about the possibility of asking him for more, okay? So that means curry, grooming the mane and grooming the tail, feeling the belly and the sheath, making sure there's nothing swollen or any wounds or injuries or anything down there. And of course, picking all 4 feet. So that is something important. We want to make sure we go through all the steps of grooming that we need to do before we move on and ask for anything more advanced. Okay, so what we want to talk about right now is when we're asking for picking hooves. It does make it easier if we always move in the pattern of left front leg, next left hind leg. And if you'll notice, what we do here is we just literally ask for a lift. And so again, positive reinforcement style, we don't ever ask for anything more than twice, and that's okay. We're never demanding anything, because if we have to ask more than twice or demand anything, that means our horse emotionally is not where they need to be, and we have no business moving forward with anything that we're doing with them. So now we're asking for a right hind lift. And not too interested in that. And now we're going to ask for the right front lift. Yay. And we got it that time. Okay, so nothing wrong with that, right? So, whoop, 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 whoop. Yeah, so those are the kinds of things that can happen anytime in a barn. Somebody can knock over a trash can, a bucket, trip on something. I mean, that's just a natural part of life. And so I'm very proud of him for not spooking any more than that. And we are going to go ahead and reward him with a little bit of grain. That's the first time we've really given him much food since we started this thing, because that was kind of a big deal for him to stay calm and not get panicky or get upset when that trash can got knocked over. And now he's allowing his foot to be picked, which is great. But we still have 3 feet that haven't been picked yet. So I think that you should try. So I would say either you want to try again or have another person try it. Let's have Zen try one more time and see if she can get the other 3 feet picked. Perfect. And communication is always key when you guys are working with other people. And we don't... Perfect. So she is going to be ready with the clicker. Hello. Thanks for tuning in today. Please let me know if you guys have any questions about anything specifically that you want to see. Otherwise, we're just going to do what we do, just as if you guys weren't out there. So you can kind of see what that looks like. Okay, so look, so we got a left front, and that's really great. Good boy. And notice he stays right, nice and relaxed. So I think the most important thing I want you guys to notice is that instead of making him pick up his other feet, good boy, we won't click until the end because he's more advanced. If this was a young horse that was just learning how to pick up his feet, we might give a click and reward after picking up each individual foot. But in this case, he is 5 years old and he's had his feet picked lots of times and he's been ridden lots of times and he's been to lots of events and different things. So getting his feet picked is not at all a scary thing. And in fact, he's starting to be naughty right now and knock things over. So we're going to move this where it's harder for him to have anything naughty to think about. And because he's being naughty, we're going to just take our time and go back. Here we go. And 3, 2, 1, picks it right up. Good boy. Good boy. So again, we are not going to do food, because as I teach in my horse training masterclass, you always want to match the level of the behavior to the reward. And so, yes, he did pick up his foot, but at the same time, he's also banging around and being silly and things like that. And again, this is not a young baby horse. He knows how to do this. Good boy. And he picks up there. Very good. Nice lift. Stays nice and relaxed. Notice his head is coming now a little bit below the line. That I prefer that. Very good. Now he gets a click because all 4 feet have been picked. Oops, he dropped his treat.
I'll find it.
But he'll find it. Okay, so now we've groomed him. Okay, now we've groomed him. We picked all 4 of his feet. So basically, he's kind of picking, kind of trying to bite at me right there a little bit. I don't know if you kind of noticed that. But again, I have been talking and haven't been participating in any of this. So I haven't really been giving him much attention. So he might just be feeling like I'm paying more attention to you than I am to him. And he would prefer that I pay some attention to him. But his head's a little bit high. It's okay. So I'm just going to maintain my safety circle and have him maintain his. And then he starts to do this abnormal behavior. And so I'm going to ignore that and walk away. Okay, so now he is still here. That's what we say. We always check in every few seconds, right? So after I walked away, it's been about 5 seconds and he's stayed nice and calm and relaxed, but he's still kind of getting into things, right? And so I think we're going to go ahead and move forward in his training today and put this saddle on him. So the saddle is right here, handy, and he's making those unusual mouth movements again. So we certainly want to just go ahead and move forward with our training and go ahead and get that saddle on him. If he has enough extra energy to act silly and make silly faces, then he definitely is psychologically ready for us to move his training to the next level, which in this case would be a saddle. But now look, it's a few seconds later and his personality was thinking about changing. See where his nose is now. So now his nose is definitely at or above the line. So I want you guys to notice that, right? So see how his nose is up here and the point of his shoulder is here. And so we don't want to go ahead and move forward with our training, whatever that looks like. And so look, I'm very stimulating to him. He's like, please let me touch you. And so, but I don't really want to be touched by him right now. Okay. We're getting to know each other again after our accident. And so we are going to I'm going to move away from him because that was way too exciting for him. And I'm going to let another trainer work with him because let's see if we can keep his nose below the line and then go ahead and bring him back to some of our basic things that he used to be able to do before the accident on a really regular basis. So again, these are not going to be brand new behaviors for this horse. This is going to be something that he's done a lot. But also remember, he's a young horse and I have to move away because he started making that face again. And so he's only 5 years old. So does anybody know how old that is in horse years? Who wants to guess? And you can put your comments down below. A 5-year-old horse is about what in human years? Do 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 do. Okay. Nobody wants to guess. Miss Patty, do you want to guess? Or do you know? Do you know?
I do not know. I know it's 7 years for dogs, but I don't know what it is.
Do you have any idea what he would be in people?
His teens or 20s.
Yeah,
I think he might be in his 20s.
I would say, yeah, he's probably 19 or 20 maybe. Anybody else want to guess? Okay, now look at what I love about this. What I love about this is that we have a horse who's been totally groomed without a halter and lead rope and being tied up. We've done a little, oh, good. I love that. He's actually taking a deep breath and relaxing with the saddle. He's actually more relaxed. If you guys have been here from the beginning, I think it's fascinating for you to see that he's actually relaxing more as the saddle is coming on than before. I know, I think he's gained a little weight. You guys, I think he might have gained a little weight. Yeah, so I love that he has his head down, nice and low. And because now there is going to be some fiddling around with the equipment, which is a time. Let's see if you can see that on the camera.
Hello, wait there, bud.
I think you can. Hey, thank you guys out there for all of your donations that help us to keep Cesar very well fed. Yes.
I also want to say I gave him some Timothy pellets and spread it across the
I love that. I love that. Yeah, so if hopefully you guys were able to hear that. And, you know, I sort of even missed that. So I think that was really good that you pointed that out, is that before getting started with the saddling, because he hasn't been saddled much in a while. So this is kind of, you know, that happens to all of us, right? You go on vacation or whatever, you get hurt and you have to take some time off from your horse. And then it's always a little bit interesting that first time when you want to go and see if they're okay with picking up right where you left off, or if they need a little bit of retraining in order to feel comfortable stepping right into that role with the saddle and the bridle and all of those things. So I think it was great what she did as far as putting the Timothy alfalfa pellets down in this bucket. Again, it keeps his head down and kind of keeps him busy and occupied. And that gives us a little bit of time to mess around with a new girth because he needs I think we have to get a whole new girth for him. Okay, so Miss Patty, you know what I think we should do while they're doing that? Squats. We should do squats. We should do side bends. Let's do it. And I'm going to leave the camera where it's at. But I think you and I, we need 2 camera views in here. And so I love how he's still keeping his head down. And then instead of me just standing in front of the camera talking, which could be odd for him, the rest of the people in the room are just going to come over here and do some, do something worthwhile and also get us ready for who knows what kind of things we might end up doing with him. He's allowing us to really do a lot, being able to have a girth flapping around like that and not carrying is pretty cool, right? And he's staying nice and relaxed, and that's what we want. So maybe we'll end up doing some Tabata timer training with him or something like that, where all of us need to, or don't need to, but can all participate, which makes it a little bit more fun for him. And then I'm going to come back over here off camera because I don't want to do too many.
I brought this one just in case, because I thought this one's going to be way too big, and it's still, he's like, this one's room.
We've got bigger girths, don't we?
We do.
Yeah.
I
Good boy.
Yeah.
Good boy. And so then at this point also we have to decide, is he still okay with all of this? Or we have to be ready because he's expecting us to just go ahead and get the saddle on and get going. And so, or he's going to get bored or lose interest, right? Oh, so we might have to change directions, maybe do a little targeting or something like that. Or even introduce something like really new and weird and scary and interesting and see if he's interested in it. And we could also grab the ball. He likes the ball. And I would just stand by with it. So we're just hanging out right now. He's not too interested in this. He's just interested in kind of hanging out, doing his thing, which is great. Sorry, I'm sniffling, you guys. It is a little chilly here in Colorado today, especially in here. Okay, we've got some more options.
I might have to use blazers.
Okay. Good boy. So again, you take the time it takes, and then it takes less time, right? I mean, there's lots of horse trainers who have said that over the years, and it is true, whether you're doing positive reinforcement or not. And so this being his first time really being saddled again since our accident in July, he's gained a little bit of weight since he's not got ridden. So we are trying to find a girth that will fit him.
I think this one will fit. This girth, I'd like to note, is our 16.2 off the track thoroughbred girth. That might be fitting into little man.
Okay, and speaking of 16 hand thoroughbred off the track, there she is over there half asleep enjoying the sunshine, wondering if she's going to get a turn. Looks like our round pen is not too wet, so we might be able to use it. Oh, Chili says, can I play? Chili wants to come hang out.
Barely. It barely drops. Literally barely. Oh my God.
Okay, well, it'll be good for him to just have it on, and he's still staying nice and relaxed, so that's really great. So that's really good.
I have 2 on this side. That's about it.
So since he's continuing to stay relaxed and everything's fine and we've got saddle on, I do think that it would be appropriate for us now to go get the Havison with the reins, maybe. Maybe you can get those, Patty, from the tack
I
room.
think they're in here.
Good boy. I think they're in the tack room.
Yeah. Oh, I think so.
Perfect. Good. So always, right, she's always going to encourage him to keep his hands down, keep his head down, and keep him kind of busy. Good boy. And the most important thing in all of that is that he stays nice and relaxed, which he is. And he says, Patty, don't stop. He's like, Patty, please don't stop petting me. Yeah, you guys, I want to do some stuff. Okay, so again, the first time. For having anything like this. And let's just see if we'll see if he continues to stay nice and relaxed. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. And so it was a little slow there. You see how I could have been there just a hair faster and helped her to encourage his head further down. Good boy. And that's how you train that. Okay, so use every opportunity that you can. How's he doing? Yeah, I think we drive him in the round pen, okay, like we did last time. And I might have you download the Tabata timer on your phone and play the Tabata timer, okay? And maybe can you work on that while I get his long reins ready? Thank you. So I'll definitely make sure you have a pointer on you, okay? Yeah, Tabata, I can tell you. That blue one, that dark blue.
First one or second one?
First one. Okay, now I'm going to move our view to out here. Hi, Natalia. Watch closely, pretty girl, okay? Because you're going to be doing this next. I can. Can I? I'll trade you. Maybe take him out to the arena. I'll set it up. Yeah. You want to just take him out there?
Yeah, and could you give me that green bag also? Oh yeah, now you know I have to.
Patty, will you close the gates and come inside?
out with any sequence of intervals.
Yeah, you be ready to target from here to there. Okay. Or we might need you to run and grab us like a carrot or something. So if you can be ready with that too. Go. Okay, everybody. I just put it down. Is
it not working?
Yeah, so I'm sorry. Okay. Right. Okay, so we're going to start with doing a little bit of driving with him rather than lunging. So most people, they would start with a horse that's the first time after an accident. You'd probably like want to lunge the holy heck out of them and make sure they're not going to have a problem, right? That's going to be most people's first reaction, but I'm encouraging you to change your mindset. So the mindset is just to go through each step of the process the way that it needs to be done, and don't move forward until the last one was done to that satisfaction. So that means no pawing and no anxiety and things like that. And I have to get going because I can't allow that to continue. So notice I didn't go, yeah, stop it, no, right? Right, I didn't do any of that because we don't do that around here. This is a no yelling zone. This is a no zone, a no zone, right? There's no reason for us to ever be saying no to them because everything they're doing is their own choice anyway. Good boy. And I love how he's enjoying this interaction. So he's following with her. And so I think that we're ready to go ahead and start by putting the long lines on him. Long lines or driving lines. So she's going to put them on one side. I'm going to do them on the other.
You want to put them here?
Sure. Is the cavesson pretty secure?
I could take it about 4 minutes.
Yeah, we should have the cavesson. If you're using a cavesson like we are, for those of you who know what that is, it does work best if it is snug, right? Not tight, but just snug. It gives a little, it's like having a backpack that's like snugged on. It feels more comfortable than a really loose one. So, you know, whether a rope is snug or loose, how comfortable it is can kind of depend on what the actually is you're doing. Can I trade you for a moment? I'll have you come in. Stay there with that one. Good boy. Keep him kind of occupied like you were. She's done a great job keeping him nice and calm and relaxed. Notice he hasn't gotten fussy about anything that we've done yet. Perfect. Okay. So now what we're going to do you have a target? Thank you. And I'll have you go grab the other one. Okay. So I am going to come behind and drive him. Okay. So why am I doing that? I'm doing that because it's giving him the same range signals that you would if you were sitting up there, but it's just the rein part. So it's only half as much stuff for him to think about, right? Half as much stuff for us to get right or wrong. So we just are breaking the lesson down and making it easier. So we're starting with the face movements part of the riding first. And so I'm going to go ahead and see if I can get him moving around the ring. And if we need a little help, we're going to get it forward, asking him to come forward, not by having somebody come behind and chase him with the whip. Boy, he got spooked by something in the distance, but we rewarded him for staying nice and calm, and that's perfect. Cesar, can you walk on? Walk on. Good boy. So notice he started walking before she even brought him forward with the clicker. but I'm having a little bit of trouble. I need to get reorganized here. So I'm going to allow her to interact with him up there so he doesn't have as much opportunity to make bad choices while I get good. Now we can get to work. Good boy, walk on. Can you be about another 10 feet in front of him, I would say? Thank you. Walk on, Cesar, good boy. Yeah, good boy. And if you can maintain more distance from him, I think he'll walk better. Walk on. So I asked, good. So there's a lot of shenanigans going on back there behind me. So I don't know if you can get that. Good boy. Good boy. Good. Oh, good boy. That's so good. Good. Here, let's just walk. Good. That's very nice. Good boy. Walk on. Walk on. Walk on. Keep walking. Good. Come on. Keep walking. 3, 2. Good. Back. Very good. Back. Nice. Well done. Back. Good boy. Back. Okay. You're going to count for us now. So the most important thing is to just stop with whatever you're doing. Don't allow him to practice anything you don't want him to practice. And also, if he offers something that you're not too sure about, just put it on command. Just say, oh, counting? Good boy, counting. 3. Good. Back. Very good. That's nice. Good. And you see how he is licking and chewing? Good boy. Good boy. Good. So now he's deciding to accept the little bit of contact that I have with him here. So I'm going to move back into position. Walk on. Walk on. Good boy. And he's not walking, right? And so that's okay. What we're going to do is stop and think about, why isn't he walking? Is it because he doesn't understand? He doesn't want to? Obviously, what we're doing isn't working for him. Exactly. That's what he needs. He needs more reinforcement. So he's clearly saying, I'm not getting enough paycheck for this job. And so, hey, everybody's entitled to their opinion. And if you think you're working hard at your job and your employer is not compensating you enough, it is certainly your right to let them know that you think you deserve a raise, and then prove it, be able to prove it, right? So we'll see what happens here, but I think he needs to be asked to do something really different that he can succeed at, and then we can reward him for that. Because right now, his whole mental thinking is blocking. You see this like mental block that he has? He just has thrown up, he's just said, talk to the hoof. I'm not doing it. Okay, so what about it? Is it that he doesn't want to do? Is it the saddle? Is it the reins? Is it that it's too muddy out here? There can be lots of different things. And I think mostly it has to do with he would like more food reassurance than what he's getting. I think he needs more. Walk on. Good. Okay, don't be mad at Natalia, please. Thank you. No, don't be mad at Natalia, please. Just walk. And let's come to a halt in front of the camera. 3, 2, ready. Oh, good boy. Good boy. And so notice I'm going to give him the commands that you would do, but she's helping me to make it easier. Now, you can do this on your own. I could have a clicker right here, and I could definitely be doing it on my own. You don't have to have somebody doing these things with you. It just takes a little longer. That's all. But if you have the luxury of having somebody that can be there to help you, walk on. And so I also don't want to really encourage this aggression at the fence business, right? And so considering that we've been doing this for 4 or 5 minutes now, I think we just stop at this point and stop this exercise, right? And move on to a different exercise. Not sure exactly what that's going to be just yet, but certainly he has said he really doesn't think that exercise is super fun today right now. And so we're going to go, okay, fine. we'll do something else then. I think, let's see if you can get him to target without the reins. Good boy.
He's really eager to work. Not like he's close-minded.
Right. And yes, I agree. I think he would really like to play with the ball. I will go get the ball.
I took this off. I didn't want him to- No. You just throw that in here?
3, 2, 1, ready? Ball. Oh, get the ball. Oh, yeah, good boy. Boy. So notice we just stopped with the riding training for the moment, and we're going to let him play ball, which is something he really, really enjoys, and he thinks this is super fun. Good boy. Good boy. Yeah. You get that ball. Good boy. Yeah. Oh, can you get it with the back foot? Oh, good. Oh, yeah, that was good.
There you go.
Oh, that was a good boy.
Ready to serve it?
Oh,
Oh, get it.
good boy.
Get the ball.
Hey, mad at her.
Good boy. Give it one more time. One big kick. Oh. It also helps with decent.
It does. It absolutely does. That is a great point with how much the ball is helping desensitize him to things around his lower legs.
Good. Good.
Okay, good. So then you do have to watch your horse's demeanor the whole time to make sure that they are, see how his ears are really flat back? See how angry he is getting with the horse outside the pen? So this would be kind of like your, fifth grader who is doing a math lesson, and then another first grader looks in the room and they run and punch at the wall or punch at the glass because they're so mad that that person is watching them. And so you don't want that. So we do have to be careful about not encouraging and definitely discouraging that sort of aggressive to other animals behavior. It could mean that he needs to be exercised and worked with in a different environment where all these animals can't be on the outside of the pen and bothering him so much. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy.
Very.
Very good. So again, positive reinforcement style, we're going to maybe work on the same lesson for a minute or two and then move on to something else. And so notice that the ball is getting kicked and he's sort of scratching his leg first. He's like, I'm kind of over the ball thing. I'm just going to come over here and make a wreck. Okay, and so I know, and we don't want that. So guess what? We go back to the lunge line training then.
having everyone standing around watching. It's not his favorite thing.
Yeah, so we need to move him because he's getting anxious about the others. Let's move him out into the main corral out there because no one's out there.
I don't want to do that.
He
He's like, don't you stop.
goes, that means this is the end of the session, and I didn't even want that. Okay, good. So good. All right, let's all move. Like you put it on. Just like okay. Okay, so I was going to go and take some cones and put them out in there because I think he might like that. But you don't think so? He doesn't want to be in there? He wants to be in here. Let's see if we can do some cones out here then. Come on, babe. That's a good boy. Good boy. Good boy. All right. Good boy. I'm going to set this one here. I didn't put it in your mouth. Good. 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 Very good. Thank you. Oh, very good. Can you grab it there? Oh, thank you. Very kind, sir. That's so cute. But now don't, no. That, I don't want you to break my cone, honey. So don't forget that it's totally possible and fine and good to just have a simple conversation with your animals all the time. Doesn't matter if it's dog, cat, horse, quail, fish, whatever the pet may be. And also keep in mind that no one's perfect at any of this kind of stuff either. And you're going to be fumbling with ropes and lunge lines and things like that. That's normal. Everybody does. So don't let some edited video try to convince you that they never struggle with lunge lines or lead lines or whatever kind of lines you might have. Or, I think where you are is perfect. So I'm having one person stand off to the side with the cabeston and the reins. Okay, so that is an exercise that we could resume as far as just having that on and then adding the driving lines and seeing if we can drive him maybe around these cones. And maybe I just put the cabeston on him and ride him and don't mess around. Maybe he would actually feel safer with that. There's nothing that says that he has to be driven before he's ridden. In fact, we didn't do much driving with him when he was young. And I'll take that. Perfect. Because yeah, exactly. So again, he has the option to leave or not, but instead of leaving, he's choosing to hang around and be destructive a little bit. Okay. Well, if he's got enough attitude, thank you for that, then he's not going to mind. Put a cabeston back on him. Good boy. Notice how he's actually stopped fussing. Good boy. He's actually looking forward to some more work of some kind. He just didn't want to do that work. And that's okay, because there's nothing that says we have to do any of it. Sure, let's do that. That sounds perfect. Will you take that, man? Let's do that. I think that's a great idea. Because he's clearly still wanting to interact, right? He has had the opportunity the whole time to just leave this training area and go out and be with his friends. But he's choosing to stay here. Again, that's the power of positive reinforcement. But he didn't really love the line driving, which we did a couple of times. But he still wants to do something. He's asking for some kind of attention, right? He's asking for attention when he is banging at the gate and things like that. Good boy. And I want you to just really observe as he's getting tacked up. So the typical horse, this is the point when they're starting to get nervous, right? This is when a typical horse gets nervous. He's not nervous. He is being very, very soft and gentle, and he's not doing anything, I think, except saying, let's go, let's get on with this. He's definitely not trying to get away, right? And that's how you know. Yeah, I think I'm just going to reward him a little bit because I'm really pretty proud of him for standing here. Yes, and you're just silly. And no, it's not the best thing in the world to let him chew on something like that, right? We don't want him to have an oral fixation, but also we don't want to be too harsh on them because he is still young and he is still learning. And this is the first time he's had a lesson like this in many, many months. So we want to take our time and go easy with him.
You go ready?
I think so.
I'm gonna put the cavalier.
Do you want Patty to help pick up the cones, or do you want the cones the way they are? Do you want the step stool? Yeah. It's not okay with him. Patty, can you go bring us the step stool, the yellow one?
I can get on him. If you think he's fine with that.
I mean, he seems fairly fine to me. I mean, so how we're like anybody that's about to get on a horse, we're trying to decide, do we think that he's ready or not? I mean, we've tightened the girth. We've tightened the girth. We have reins on, and
I'm also just
yeah, so I'm going to spend just a minute or two just tightening the girth, and he's like, wait a minute, what are you doing? Good boy. I'm going to reward him. Good boy. That was very nice. That was very nice. So again, very nice behavior being offered by him. He's staying nice and relaxed and being very loving and sweet and soft. Yes, and silly. And that's what we want to see. And let's watch his ears and his behavior throughout this whole next process. Now let him see it. He hasn't really had much experience with this thing. Yeah, what do you think about that? He goes, am I supposed to knock it over?
I have gotten on him.
Have you? Good. I think that's enough of him checking it out. So we want to just give him 10 seconds to check it out. And now we're going to go ahead and see what happens next. Oh, he's trying to bite me a little bit. I don't want that. Maybe some anxiety. And now his head's coming up above the line. So how do you remedy that? So he's having anxiety about her being in this position. So she needs to get out of this position one way or the other. She needs to get on him or get down, right? And not allow him to practice being anxious and bitey. Good boy. Yeah. So I'm going to get his nose below the level of the line. I'll let him chew that maybe just a little, and he let it go right away. Good. Good. Very good. All right, let's try again. Because also if he has enough, what do we want to call it? Attitude? What word would you use? To try to bite and fidget and mess around, right? If he, like that, then I think, and his head's down, I think that's your cue to go ahead and move forward. Good. Very good. And now he's showing some abnormal stress behavior. That was very cool. Good. Yeah, you have a carrot. Good boy. Good, you can give it to him. So we're going to go ahead and let him have a reward, of course, for that, because he hasn't had anybody on in quite some time.
Also not immediately pulling on the reins or giving him
Yeah, that's good. So I'm going to be here to help him make good choices and not bad choices. So bad choices are kicking the fence, doing things like knocking things over. Those are not behaviors that we want to reinforce. So she is up there to just like tag along while he and I come to an understanding about this lunge line right here. So he can either come and either lead or lunge with me. And notice how he's choosing to have some abnormal behavior. So I need to change things so he cannot practice that. And so then he's being angry there at the filly. So I'm going to go like that. And let's see if he'll lunge for me. Not sure if he will, but that's okay. Good. I'm going to give him a minute. Perfect. Good boy. Walk on. Now I think you can, so don't allow him to nuzzle the cones. Perfect. Why don't you come through here? And I think it's okay at this point for you to really actually ride him a little bit. Okay? Perfect. Good. And so we're working together here. What is? Oh, good boy. So we're going to work together. Watch your foot, baby. Good boy. It's going to be right on your foot. Okay. Okay, so we're going to work together to where either I'm leading him or I'm lunging him. And we're going to help him stay nice and relaxed. And we're going to keep it interesting and fun and not allow a lot of that stuff. Maybe get the ball.
not the time to just
Yeah. So I would say, why don't you come in and maybe leave the rope there and just have the target? Because again, we just want to keep it interesting for him. We're not going to demand a thing. We're not going to get a rope or whip and start whipping him around this round pen. But I am going to help, perfect, stay that far away from him and lead him forward. But keep 15 more space. Perfect. So now we're adding a little extra help because if he'll move forward to this target, I want it to be that far away, okay? I think through. And when he stopped, so you stop. Okay, so now he's not thinking about acting up anymore, as in chasing after the girls or anything like that. He's relaxed, he's settled down because he added another element. And his little brain can only handle 3 things at once. You are one thing, I'm another thing. Now he has a third thing. And so now, again, you don't have to have 3 people, but it just goes faster if you do. Good. And so I think that he looks pretty relaxed and sleepy. And I'm going to try to keep out of it. And I'm going to try to see if, Zen, you can get him to target there. Now, here's the thing, though, guys. We definitely need food if he does that. Does anybody have a carrot? Can I have one, please? And let me do that feeding piece, okay? Okay, I have a good. Let's walk right through here. Good. Perfect. So we're going to tighten up. We were always going to go across here, Patty. So you go further away. Go further away. That will encourage a little speed here, right? if we just have the target like right in front of his face, then he's definitely gonna take the easy way out, right? But this is really good. I think we should take it AHALT. He says, I can spell, you guys. He goes, I'm not stupid. I know that means halt. Good boy. Yeah, good boy. Okay, so let's have him. Yeah, let's just take it off. But I'm going to walk with you guys. I'm going to stay in the middle because, and I'm going to have you stay, yeah, you keep your position if you're up for it. And I like that much space between you and him. And so he's perfect. So you go towards him, Patty, because he is there. Now you can back off again. Go around this thing. And you also, okay? Because he's going to do what you do. So definitely take him through around that mat. Good. So you could say that I am doing negative reinforcement, but I'm not. It's just time for my jumping jacks. Okay. So this is the time you can do things like this because I'm doing two things at once. Well, I'm doing three things at once, right? I'm exercising. I'm encouraging him to move forward. Good, good. And I'm just helping keep this lesson moving ahead. So I want to make sure you guys stay within those cones. Go around this one. Good job, Patty. No, I mean right through like we have been. No, stay on the outside for now, please. Perfect. Good. And notice I talked about this cone and he sensed our difficulty as a team in coming to a unified decision about what the meaning of this cone is, and he totally took advantage of us. Did you see that? He used that opportunity to be not very nice, right? And so I can then be a little bit more forward with my standing tall. Now he's walking forward, so I'm going to lower my body energy, okay? I want them to go right through there, right over the jump. Good. Let's just make that lesson a little easier. We took out one of the obstacles. 3, 2, 1, and whoa. Good. No, get him, let's bring him up. Placed. Good.
Good boy.
Good. And you can feed him here. Lower. Okay. So again, we want to practice this mat placement. We want to encourage these guys that the mat is a very fun, cool, relaxing place to hang out. No, we don't do that on the mat. We don't do that on the mat. All right. Perfect. Okay. So Patty, you're going to lead him around with the target the other direction. Yeah, perfect. Better. Very good. And then I'm going to just do my leg exercises from over here. Go ResqRanch. But I have to stop now because he's walking, right? But his ears are back and he looks angry. So we have to change this, okay? Because we don't want him practicing having a mean face. Let's stop on the mat. Again. Place.
Place.
Place, Cesar. All the way. Back up, Patty. Don't let him touch you when he doesn't. Good. Nope.
I cannot see anything. So I'm not
No, don't worry about it. Let us do it. Just don't let him touch anything except the target. Good, right there. Click. Good boy. Okay.
Going that far on the fence.
Okay, so none of that. I don't like any of that. So I'm gonna go. Yes. Shazam. Okay, so I'd like everybody to stop and stay right there. So let's just breathe and let him stop and be good for a minute, first of all, okay? I want him more relaxed. He's not all that relaxed, really, okay? Go ahead and walk. If he's gonna give you the movement, walk off. If he's gonna give you movement, walk off, okay? But otherwise, Patty, you're too close to him. Good. Mostly, I'd like for him to just stand still, because what I don't want to see anymore is visible leg aids. Can we agree to that? So did you notice when you asked him to move out, it was on a scale of 1 to 10, I would say that was a 3. And I would like for you to bring that to a 1. Good, very good. Cesar says, yes, me too, please, thank you. So I want to work right away on trying to make any forward movement that we ask of him or from him be with a leg pressure of really a 1 or be almost imperceptible, where we're just like getting him like with Oliver, you can almost like think what you want him to do and he does it, right? And that's how Oliver learned it, is because we interacted with him from a young age, only using very soft pressures with him. And so he is extremely responsive, as you've seen when you've done lunging with him. He's really good at it. And he responds to really light movements. This horse does not behave that way. He's a Mustang. He's a different build. He's a different personality. There's all kinds of things about him that make training him a little bit different. But the rules of positive reinforcement are the same. It doesn't matter. They're very set little guidelines that you follow. Just a few things like the pressure scale. Don't ask more than twice. Now he's starting to be fussy a little bit, right? So we got some movement. So let's take advantage of the movement and stop talking and actually do some things. Good. I'll have you take him. Yeah, okay. Okay, and this is really slow, boring walking, okay? And I don't know why, because, you know, he doesn't really have to be here doing any of this stuff. I mean, he could be anywhere doing whatever he wants to do. So why he feels like he can just stand here and be like really bored and stuff, I mean, that's fine. So guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna desensitize him, okay? This is my moment. I'm gonna desensitize it. This is when I'm going to do that ear exam and look for ticks, okay? Make sure you do both sides. Check his eyes. Check his nostrils. Check his teeth and check his lips, and then walk off and see what happens. Notice all of a sudden, walking around the round pen seems easier than all that stuff. And now he's still here, people. So as long as he's still here, I'm going to continue to work with him, train him, teach him things. What I'm not going to allow him to do is stand there and practice ignoring us. Perfect. Perfect. Yeah, well, let's not end it. Well, let's find a better way to end it. Yeah. Perfect. And that's fine as long as he doesn't do this stress mouth stuff, right? That's fine. Yeah, perfect. So he is practicing exactly what we would like for him to practice today, which is just tolerating a rider and a saddle and some reins. and standing quietly and accepting a rider. So that's pretty great. Yeah, he looked super angry that whole round with his ears back. Any ideas why he was feeling so unhappy?
I just am accepting what he did.
Yeah, that was good.
In general, but I was brushing him, but he was like, okay, I'm a little bit better now, maybe.
So don't let him touch you. So I tell you what, I'm going to take myself out of the situation and watch and see if there's anything I can observe from watching, or if there's anything any of you out there are observing. Okay, I got no comments. We've got a few people that are still out there. Mostly I'm just really happy that he's staying so nice and relaxed. So I don't,
This is the first time he's had a rider on this.
it is. It is since July and it's November. Yeah, I think he's doing pretty good. There goes a jet over the trees. Pretty interesting. And also good that he didn't have any kind of panic. Okay, well, we have been working with Cesar here for about an hour. And I think that that's probably enough for one day. What do you think? I think that he did absolutely swimmingly great. I'm very proud of his behavior. This is a horse that had a bad accident. Okay, so he had an accident in July, and this is actually his very first time since then, and it's November, where he has had a saddle on and had to carry a rider. So we think that he did really great today, considering that was his first time.
Who cares?
Okay, everybody. So thanks for tuning in to today's live stream training with Cesar the Wild Mustang. He's a 5-year-old Mustang that we actually got as part of the Meeker Mustang makeover. And he has been with us since he was about a yearling. Now he's 5. As you can see, he's extremely dangerous. Yeah, you better watch it. He likes to French. Yeah, he's a goofball. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Please leave your questions and comments down below. Please subscribe. Tell your friends and family. Definitely send in any of your training questions or comments that you might have. Questions about the horses, the rescue, positive reinforcement, how to use it. Again, I'm Dr. Q. I've helped literally hundreds of clients to transform their relationship with their horses and actually all their animals. So if you are looking for something to learn about positive reinforcement from, that is going to be me. So tune in, ask your questions. I'm here to spread the word of R+, and we'll see you right here in the next video.
Great ending.